He's sending me a text and go. Steven said, "Hey, can you make this happen right here?"
Even if they got nothing to do with none of this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you just say, "Hey, I just need to get some." And I understand, some of the technology challenges, and so that's one of the things that we'll be able to do with you with that web conference interfaces is do training, weekly training, talking to you about technology, and as you bring on new staff members. That's going to be very important as we'll spend the hours with them, helping them learn how to use a phone system, how to navigate their email, so that once you spend that upfront time with them, now they become more efficient. And now you're able to communicate with them on just an incredible level. So, that's kind of what we do. We do everything from your network security cameras, and we're the best in that integration right now. We've got 3 active projects. We brought security cameras to multifamily. We're doing a senior facility. Basically, they told us, "Hey, Eric, we had 7 companies and they couldn't do what you guys are doing." And so we came in, we took the time, we do 3D rendering, we kind of walk it through so they can see what the project is looking like. We provided them a total solution from putting in fences to the lighting to the cameras to the whole technology interface. So that's what we're a full service project management firm, and we're ready to serve. And anytime y'all have any questions in those packets, you will see Simone Whiteside. She's our CEO. She just became CEO 6 months ago, and she is available, and I'm available anytime if you have any questions. And as the website starting to get developed, any suggestions or information. Once we finish the website, just in the project plan, once we finish the initial content, then me and Dr. Humphrey will start working on these tools from your newsletter interface to, I would like to also go as far as also integrating your website as a mobile app just for parents to have easy accessibility so that y'all can send out push notifications from the website. So that really makes it easy for, hey, we got this little meeting, you can shoot out to all the parents through that's downloaded that application. So we're going to have some fun. As Stephen will tell you, I love what I do, and we're just happy to help this endeavor because it's so important that education now, and especially with us going through this technology revolution. I'm a big proponent now of we can take our young kids right out of school right now and teach them technology and get them certification. And they can go out and start working and start gaining valuable experience. So when they later look at going to college or the technical school, they got valuable work experience. That's my biggest proponent, and that's what makes our training center different. We don't have fancy meetings. We deal with application. You'll see the young men that come with me on these projects, they are sharp, because they got application. They know how to come in and put a network in. They know how to come in and do security cameras, and they got experience. And so that's why I think it's so important what Stephen's trying to do here, because we have to look at a new direction. It's a new revolution for our people as it comes to education, and we have to start giving our kids the tools so that they can be financial. A lot of us now, we went through in our educational system, especially in higher education, is we have a lot of students that's out there, they got their degree, they can't get the valuable experience, and they can't get a job. And now those student loans are kicking in, and they still at home with parents. So we got to get these students real valuable experience so that they can get skills, so they can actually go out here and start earning some money.
Eric, thank you so much for being here tonight. Now, let me ask you a question. We don't have our computers in front of us. Can you guys show us something about what it looks like currently? And
yes, if you go to on your cell phones, you pull my thing on your cell phones. Like I said, we developed in live mode, so that's why we need to get some pictures in here. If you go to Renaissance EDU.com. And if you, your Facebook page has already been up, we just put a nice little Facebook cover on that page. You see that young lady on there, that's my daughter on that picture. Let's see. What's the
What's our Wi-Fi?
Renaissance.
Hold on, Wi-Fi here. 803 is the telephone number.
803-454-2373.
Renaissance.
Oh, I ran into that too. Don't worry about it. I was right with you. It's the RENISS. I always mess it up.
ISS.
803, what's to that?
See.
2375.
Renaissance EDU.
454.
Yes, ma'am.
2375.
That in Renaissance EDU.
Yes.
RenaissanceEDU.com.
So right now, as you see, the new logo that we designed and approved by Dr. Harmon comes up here. And what you're missing is you see some calendars, you see some demo content here. I'm a big proponent of using real photos instead of stock photos to show that. That's why it's so important to get photos of what you guys are doing. And you'll start to see those come in. So you look here, as you look at that site and you pull that up.
I'm missing something.
You missing something? You want me to text it to you? Let me help you, Steve. Let me get that for you.
Are people supposed to be going to this website now?
No, not
That's
yet.
the old one. Okay, because I was saying I've been seeing the old one.
The old one, still, we're gonna link all that and then the old one
Okay.
will disappear.
It went to Google
into this.
I went to Google.
By the way, Eric, Dr. Harmon, let me mention something to you all. Leland Hester is the Southeastern Regional person for Google. If we need to break into that, we can do that. I mean, I can call Leland tomorrow and have her reach out to you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
let's
Do
Just-
that, please.
Please, yeah.
Because it's
that
like,
is a world.
because the thing with Google is when Google Education Suite was created, it was created for the traditional public school, and you had to have all this paperwork showing that you belong to this district and you have this number from the State Department of Education, but they didn't think of charter schools weren't part of it.
Well, that's one reason why Richmond 2 is on that system,
right.
which would make it so if we were able to get on that system like that, then it would be easy to connect. But I know Leland Hester, who is I'll get her.
And that's what your new Facebook cover looks like. I meant to see your copy of it. Dr. Harmon seen it. It really looks good on Facebook. Cover Sun Will coming in the fall, and we're already starting to try to get some excitement and promoting that page, so that as you get more and more likes, and I'm a big proponent of organic, what I call organic advertisement. We've had clients that they'll say, gosh, I want to get to the top of Google. I want to get as fast. And I say, if you take your time and be patient, and sometimes it takes 6 to 12 months, but if you do it organically, you'll never have to spend money on advertisement. And I got 2 firms right now that did that principle and stayed in that method. And now they're the #1 in their field in property management, and they never have to really spend on advertising because they did it organically. As we get more and more likes on Facebook, it's going to give us more and more, it's going to lower our costs when we advertise across Facebook and Instagram, because what Facebook wants, if they know you're popular, they want you to continue to advertise. And so those numbers adjust, even though it's fairly low now.
Just one other thing I just wanted to point out to everybody. If you look at the color schemes in the website, all of that is consistent with our logo and all.
Absolutely.
So as this thing begins to build out, because we wanted to be consistent with everything that we're doing, you'll be able to see some of that. One of the things I like about what Eric and those are able to do that I think is helpful is they can modify on the fly.
Correct.
So it's not like if we need to change something or we need to do something fairly quickly, these guys are in a position to,
Okay,
to,
yeah, I
to
just
try to
found it. I'm trying to like it now. I'm trying to like it now.
help to manage that process.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got it.
Eric, just if you could talk a little bit about one of the things that's critical to this group and to our committee is the functionality of it, meaning that as I've shared with this board, we want a tool that parents can use, that students can use, and that the community can access. And all of those points are critically important, because one of the things that I hear often from people that are in the current school system is that the district can send you information all day long, but you can't ever send the district
No.
Right.
So
They get touched
whenever
by
whenever there's a situation where parents can have a relationship like
Right.
that, particularly in technology, and I'll share this quick story. When my wife had her private academy some years ago, and this was a few years ago, we actually we were trying to figure out how do you keep parents engaged in what you're doing. And I happened to be in Target one day, and I saw, you remember these little picture frames that if you put in a chip, it would show you, it would kind of bring up the picture. If you take a picture of somebody or a couple people, you could put a little chip in and it would show, on the picture frame, it would show the picture.
Right.
Well, what we ended up doing in our academy, I said, man, that's cool. So what we ended up doing is we got this little picture frame and we placed it in our academy. So, because guess what happened? During the day, parents, all you knew is when the child came home and told you what was going on during the day, that's your depth of knowledge of what happened that day. But what we did is we took pictures throughout the entire day of what children were doing. So when the parents came in to pick up their children at 4 o'clock, the chip was in there, and all day long, that chip begins to show what those children were engaged in throughout the day. It was amazing to see the response from parents just from that, because parents want to know.
Want to know.
What's going on.
I'm that guy.
Well, the reason why we want to make sure that that's important here is because with some of the security measures that school districts are beginning to take into consideration, they're doing more to stifle the ability of parents to be engaged, rather than finding a way to complement the security versus the involvement of parents. So you got to be. So one way of being able to do that helps everybody is if a parent is sitting at home or at their job and they want to know what's going on with their kid throughout the day. We want to be in a position to be able to show that parents should be able to log onto our website and see what's going on with their children throughout the day. Those are the kinds of capabilities that we're asking this group to put in place. And these guys, I've seen these guys work. I mean, they're out of Spartanburg, so they're not from out of the country somewhere. They know their stuff and what they're able to do. And so I'm glad Dr. Holmes was able to reach out to them. He actually called me and said, Steve, what's the name of that group that y'all had? And I told him about these guys and what they're capable of doing. But you'll see in real time how impactful that kind of stuff can be. And more specifically, it's amazing how, like he mentioned, $50. These guys know how to take $50 and reach 100,000 people. And it's amazing to see how that works when you got the right system in place.
And just to add on to that, piggyback on that, we were online all day Friday. I'm here in Columbia, he's in Spartanburg, and we were communicating all day on my computer, just watching them build a page. He project directing, he had a young man working on the page who was highly skilled, and I'm just like, he's like, you like that? I'm like, that's great. Just keep. So what you see on the phone, what you see on the phone is not anything close to what the website looks like. The phone kind of abbreviates it, but when you see it on a desktop, you be like, whoa, it's top of the line. And we look at top performing charter schools that have money. Okay, there's a Success Academies. If y'all go on, if you want to know, anytime you type in best charter schools, charter schools, Success Academy is the one that pops up. And they're in New York City. I think they're headquartered in New York City, but they have schools all over the country. We went to their website. I want our website to look like their website. You know, so that, because it attracts not only parents, it attracts high quality staff. Because if you want somebody from Success Academies that has the skill and knows what a high performing charter school does, to be attracted to come to Renaissance, before they see a building, before they meet myself, the website is the first introduction. And so we needed it to be quality and not just just not a page, a site with pages that you turn.
Now, I do want to address too when he talks about the functionality. When we talk about not only functionality but also project management of this, like this is a tool that comes with your phone. So this is your project right now in real time with all my staff tied into it. Every note from Dr. Harmon, every text from Stephen, it gets put in there, and my whole team looks at it, and it comes out with the information, they review it. And this is in real time, so it's from the day of the project started, and you can have the same functionality with your phone system. So you set up departments with the teachers and you have that communication. You can set up tasks, what you'll see in there, we have deadlines and tasks that's going to happen, and we check off on what's going on. But also in functionality, one of the little surprises I have for Stephen and Dr. Harmon is that we have a plug-in in this website called Learning Press. And what Learning Press does, and I've thought about some great ideas that can really make the school innovative, is that a lot of the district schools, they use these third-party apps for students to sign in and get help in math and, you know, reflex and all those different things. Well, with Learning Plus, your teachers could actually put in homework assignments, and the student can actually be able to log into your website and do a learning module all the way through.
Excellent.
So that could really change the game in what I call supplement. It's something you control and not something like a third-party application. So your teachers could come up with just some simple exercises that they do and put it on the website, and we can build that in before class even start, like the whole year of these classes.
Excellent.
And then they can go in and actually do these pieces. And so that's some of the capabilities that you have waiting in the wait, is that Learning Plus application. So it's something you should have.
Well, I was gonna say that could be beneficial for we have these hurricane days and these
Yeah.
snow days, and
Snow day.
you know,
Perfect.
not that they maybe have to have it right away, but give them a time period to complete that, and then we don't have to worry about making up those extra days.
Oh, and that kind of brings up another point about virtual school.
Absolutely.
Because what we're not, what we're, and this is important to say this to y'all, and we ain't talked about this yet, but there's nothing that keeps us from being able to provide
Offer
Oh,
that.
we-
virtual
That'd be
school
great. Of course.
to students who want to be home.
Correct.
And so even though we may have 300 kids at a facility, we could have 400 kids at home.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of capability is critical to have in place, so that when we don't, as I said to Dr. Harmon, and I said, make sure you tell Eric this, we need a website that allows us to be able to move beyond the four walls.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So whatever that means, however we need, because that then gives us the capability of being able to continue to expand, not locked into a model that doesn't allow us to do that. And so virtual school is definitely one of those.
And thinking about, you know, just in my experience, there's students who are sick, who have medical issues and out of school a lot, and so they're missing because they're not in the classroom, and you know, the traditional school would say they didn't have the seat time.
Right.
No.
No.
But if we have this module for them to go on with the same work they would have done if they were at school, I think obviously they're not getting direct instruction from the teacher, but that could also be.
That could also, that's why I want to
be
talk about that Learning
Video
Press. Matter of fact,
Yeah,
next
video
month,
component.
we're going to be launching an eVision EDU model. It's going to be a blackboard to teach construction and network security cameras. And one of the guys, he's a GC, and he's ready to retire. And he says, look, Eric, I done wrote out everything to teach these guys from every step of the process in construction. And what we're going to do is, he's gave us all this information. He's going to do videos. Wow. And so when they go into when you see our blackboard that goes up in a few weeks, that blackboard is a full service, just like if you was going to University of South Carolina online, where you can watch the videos, you got quizzes, it even prints out a certificate when you finish it.
Right. Wow.
But that's when you know, when you start looking at, because from a business standpoint, and I'm just going to talk from a business standpoint, it also gives you an avenue to attract a lot of these homeschool parents that really need support. So those parents right there, you could create a whole revenue model behind the blackboard for those parents, and you can market to those parents that for homeschool, we give you a alternative. They can be able to get their education from Renaissance Academy and still be at home, and we'll work with you
Amen.
to supplement you. Because a lot of the parents at homeschool, they have a tough job. One, trying to keep the kid disciplined enough to learn, and then keep them on schedule. And it sounds good when they say, yeah, I'm homeschooling, but in the practicality, it's rough.
Right, yeah, it is. I want to make sure that we have, you know, if there are any thoughts about this, or if any ideas anybody wants, or if you say, no, you know what, make sure that the website has this. This won't be the first time, this won't be the last time we have this conversation. Because what I've asked Dr. Harmon is to continue to keep us abreast of how this is unfolding, so that as it unfolds, we can kind of see, you know, where we're headed and making sure that it's where we need it to be. So are there any other comments about it? Well, I appreciate you coming. I wanted to see the website, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie about it. I wanted to see it, but I think I get where you're headed on that, and apparently you got the back office stuff that's going on that, so I get that.
And we're training Dr. Harmon. When he finished, Dr. Harmon to be able to do move and shake on this website, like he told you, he was on with us. I don't know. We had to be about eight hours, and he got to see really what it takes to customize these sites. And you know, we make it look easy because how this company started, I actually put together 1,000 websites and took them down and take any clients. And I was blessed that at the time I was using a CMS called Juma, and Rackspace was, they were one of the #1 hosting companies. They were just starting the sales Zuma. So they actually gave me a dedicated team and host. It usually costs about $600 a month for free for a year. So I had a full team, and we were putting up and troubleshooting websites before I took any client. And I went for my wife. I'm working 18 hours a day, no money coming in. And I was blessed. My first client was a client out of Texas who had, he says, well, Eric, you ready? Well, I got a project for you. And from that, he was a CPA, and he had all these other clients, and all these other clients we got from Texas came from him. But that's how I look at websites. I look at websites from the beginning and how we use them to manage, and I look at them from troubleshooting. So that's our goal, is to make sure not only you have a robust, functional website, but make sure the website not only meets all the compliances. And I think a lot of ways that with the new privacy policies that came in that's going to be on your site, that's going to help you. And of course, getting the media releases, a real good media release, you can do some of the things that Stephen wants to do with that. And as well, you can supplement that with different applications like Class, Dojo, and those areas too. That has been effective. I use that for my daughter. My daughter's 8, and I thought that was really good. The charter school there, I used that Class Dojo. So every time she was doing something in school, the teacher was updating Class Dojo, and it was coming across pictures of what's going on in the class, and it's right there on my phone, and I'm getting those notifications. Now, the public school she's in now, they don't do that. The teacher's not technology challenged. She didn't even want to bring out computers. I had to go to the principal to force her to give us the logins for these supplemental math applications, because she just wasn't tech savvy. So, you know, that's what we got to do.
If we don't get nothing else, that'd be huge for parents.